What's up, guys? This is Cashren here with a new episode for you, and today is Sunday, so we have an anime discussion. Now, what are we going to talk about today? Well, if you saw the title and you're an anime fan, you may know what we're going to talk about, the big three. Now, to those of you who are watching, who are just a fan of Cashren Sins and you aren't really into anime, let me get you caught up. Basically, the big three are three of the most popular animes of a certain generation. That's basically the concept. The three most popular ones over all anime of all time. Now, the big three originally, okay, see, most people would only count the 2000s, but there was actually a big three before the 2000s big three, and I call these the 90s big three, and that was Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, and then it was kind of a tie between Digimon and Sailor Moon. However, I would say Sailor Moon was definitely far more popular than Digimon was. So we're going to stick with Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, and Sailor Moon. Now, these were actually my big three. When I first started in anime, these were the shows that actually were the gateway to me getting into anime, you know? So, sort of like my gateway into Doctor Who was with Matt Smith. These were the shows that got me into watching anime in the first place. So what was it about these shows that really got me into anime? Well, each one of these shows had one very solid theme to them, and that theme was that no matter how strong the opponent was, you were always able to overcome them somehow. There was always a way to overcome them. There's always a way, if you put your mind to it, if you really pushed yourself, there was always a way to beat the enemy. And it was this concept of, if you work hard enough, then you can overcome. And that really, just as a kid, that really resonated with me. Now, we get to the 2000s, and then there was another big three, and that would be Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. Now, these shows, I don't like them as much as the original big three. The reason why is because these are kind of characters that are strong because, well, they didn't really work for it. They just kind of were in the right place at the right time. And whereas the original big three, you actually had to work yourself to death to actually become stronger. Another huge show that I would have actually put into the big three for the 90s would be Yu Yu Hakusho. But unfortunately, I would say that Yu Yu Hakusho didn't do as well as those other three. But really, in the 90s, you had shows where the hero or heroine would really have to work hard. They really had to work hard and become strong in order to defeat the opponent, or they just found a way through pure will to overcome the enemy. And when you have it to the point where you have these shows where it's just with wishful thinking, the hero is able to overcome, to me that's not as, it's not a good message to send to the younger generations, to say, well, if you just want it, then it's gonna happen. That is not as powerful as if you work your hardest and if you really, with sheer willpower, push yourself to the front of, of the fray, and you really push yourself and make things work, you can overcome whatever you want. Those are two incredibly different messages. And a lot of the old big three kind of came through, some of it kind of came and mirrored itself with the 2000s big three. Now the reason why I'm doing this video is because now that the 2000s big three, most of those shows are finishing up. So what does that mean? Well, that means that with this new generation, there's going to be a new big three. Now, as far as this video is concerned, I do not know if there's a new big three or not. But I would say that it's going to end up being another shonen. Probably we're going to have Attack on Titan up there. Maybe Hunter x Hunter will be up there. What would be... I'll have to think about the third big three. But definitely, I think we're going to have Attack on Titan and Hunter x Hunter. I'm definitely sure those are going to be up there. So, what do I expect as far as this next generation's big three? What is really going to be that defining moment for them? And really, what I would have to say is that it's going to really depend on that generation. The later generation of these of the millennials, or my generation, is I don't want to say that they're awful, because that's not the right word, but they're very materialistic in some ways. And if you're a millennial, don't think that I'm trying to judge you. This is just one very unjudgmental guy observing. And so a lot of it, you don't have that. What I grew up on was that message of, if you try your hardest, then you'll overcome anything. They're not really getting that in these newer generations, and that really bugs me. I mean, I don't know much about Hunter x Hunter. That's actually on my list. But what I know about Attack on Titan is that Eren, if you really think about it, and spoiler alert, if you are not caught up on Attack on Titan, then skip this part. I will leave an annotation where you can keep watching. But Eren really did not deserve any of the shit he does. And even to that point, the message I got from Eren transforming was that basically, if you get something, if you get lucky enough to get something, sometimes it's not going to be good enough. That was literally what the message I got out of it was. That I don't know if that's my cynical adult mind at work, but like with Eren, it was so, he has this power that he then tries to use, and then it constantly fails him. He's like the Vegeta. He's like if Vegeta was the main character of Dragon Ball Z. Like, his power, he always hits this new level, and it constantly just backfires in his face. So, like, that is not a good, in my opinion, that is not a good message to be sending to kids. Is that, oh, you've got yourself a new power. Well, guess what? It's not good enough. Like, that is not really, it's very cringy to me that is the message that I got out of that. But, you know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, you know, that's just my opinion and I'm just a stupid asshole. But as always, guys, thank you for watching. This one's a little bit shorter. Let me know what you think about my comments on the big three. And let me know if there's a topic you'd like me to discuss about anime. As always, guys, remember to like and comment. Let's talk about the big three. What is your favorite big three? What was your most defining moment in anime that got you to start watching anime? And of course, remember to caress that sexy subscribe button. Until the next video, guys, be excellent to each other.